Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I am Kat, and this is unofficially Shepherd's Creek. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're here to join us on our sheep journey. We are getting a couple of Jacob sheep this weekend, so either tomorrow or the next day. And we don't actually know what we're doing. So this could be really interesting. Thanks for coming along for the ride while we learn what we're doing, and hopefully you can learn something too, and if nothing else, maybe get a laugh out of our shenanigans. So hopefully we'll do some videos in the future, but this one is just like our pre-sheep video, telling you a little bit about the breed and what we're doing to get ready for them. So a little bit of background about this as I get eaten by bugs outside, but a little bit of background on us. So I have wanted to be a farmer since I knew what farming was. So like roughly 4 years old, I've wanted to be a farmer. I grew up in the city, so I didn't really get a whole lot of chance to do farming stuff, but it always kind of appealed to me. I've never been afraid of getting my hands dirty or the hard work, and I enjoy working with animals and out like get the idea of growing our own food really appealed to me. So last year we got the opportunity. April 1st we bought this property, and we have 161 acres. So when we moved to the property, we had a 7-month-old daughter and 3 cats, one of which is gone now, and 1 dog. Oh my god. So we had Kiba. She was featured in some of our older videos. And now we have Mako, who we got last year. So he was born March 13th, so he's a little over a year old now. And Kiba is 5 now. We got Mako to keep Kiba company. But yeah, it was one of those things, like the timing was probably terrible. We got him as a 8-week-old puppy, and he's a really sweet dog, really good nature, listens well, really nice dog, aren't you, buddy? Aren't you, buddy? Yeah, good boy. Got him to be her friend and to keep her safe from coyotes, because there's a lot of ballsy ones out here. And he does his job really well, but the timing that we got him, I had an 8-month-old baby, and Sam, my partner, was away working all the time. So I was home alone on a farm with a young child and a puppy, and I cried every day for a month. Don't recommend it, but he's come a long way. I've come a long way. He's a great dog. I'm really glad we have him now. So the next thing we did is we got cattle, which, I mean, they're not our cattle technically, but we got cattle on our land. We lease it out. On the other side of these trees is the pastures for that, so they keep the grass low over there. You can kind of see them through the trees sometimes. Kind of hard to see right now. Anyway, but yeah, we have those right now, so they're doing their job keeping the grass short. And we've kind of played around with the idea of getting our own animals at some point. We thought about cows, but it didn't really make sense given that we already have somebody else's cows and we don't want to mix them. We thought about getting donkeys and kind of having them in here, but donkeys have a lot of issues with gaining weight too easily, and it sounds like they're a lot more work than we're able to put in. We thought about chickens and a bunch of other animals as well, but basically what it came down to is time. I am a full-time psych student, working towards my bachelor's in psychology, and also a full-time mom. And Sam works full-time, more than full-time, in the oil field. So it was a matter of, do we have the time to properly look after animals and really do something right? And we decided we didn't really have the time to do that. So ultimately what we decided was to hold off for the most part, but then certain things changed this spring. So we found out from our babysitter that her neighbor, because she just lives up the road from us, was selling off part of his herd, and he had some Jacob sheep. So we contacted him and found out how much it was going to be, and the animals were affordable based on where we're at, if we only get a couple of them. And the more I looked into it, the easier this animal was sounding to look after. So we decided to bite the bullet and go for it. We're only getting a couple animals at first, and hopefully things will work out. So a little bit about Jacob sheep. If you've never seen them, they are a really cool looking sheep. First of all, I'll try and add a photo of them into this video, but no promises. If I can't figure it out, then Google Jacob sheep. But yeah, they are really cool looking sheep. They have between 2 and 6 horns each, so the males and the females grow lots of horns. They're a really primitive sheep as well. So for some reason they don't use the term heritage with sheep. I don't know why, but you could say that they're like a heritage sheep. But yeah, they're really primitive. They're closer to their wild ancestors than a lot of the commercial type of sheep, which has its benefits. They are really hardy, so they do really well in cold temperatures, which is great up here where it gets to -40 in the winter. They're really good foragers. They lamb really easily. They just generally don't require a whole lot of input. They're pretty self-sufficient. They're fairly resistant to parasites and disease. Just all around sounding like a pretty easy, as far as livestock goes, animal to look after. So that was really kind of a huge selling point for us, because we don't have a ton of time to really labor on these animals. Another kind of interesting thing about these sheep is that they don't flock very well. So like, you know how when you chase sheep, generally they all run in the same direction. These ones don't. They scatter. So herding them could be really interesting and may make for some really funny videos in the future. So subscribe if you want to see that someday. So yeah, these dogs will not be herding dogs. They will be livestock guardian dogs, at least part-time. But yeah, I don't know how we're going to move them, how we're going to herd them. Could be funny. Lastly, about the Jacob sheep, their uses. So they have a few different uses. They're a really multi-purpose sheep. They are a meat sheep, so a lot of people do eat them. They are smaller than a lot of commercial breeds, but they have thin, dense bones and a lot of lean meat. So you actually get a pretty decent harvest off of the carcass. So that is one option with them. You can also use them for wool, because they have that white and black kind of mottled wool. They're quite prized by spinners and weavers. So there's another kind of niche use for them there. They also can be used for milking. So they do produce milk. We probably won't do that just because it is a fairly labor-intensive thing. You have to milk them twice a day, every day, and that's more than we have time for at the moment. So that probably won't happen. You can also use their hides, because again, they have a kind of cool patterned hide, prized by tanners and leather workers because it looks cool. And sorry, I'm moving around because I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes out here. And lastly, they also, you can buy their skulls as like a decorative thing, because they look really, really cool with all the horns. So yeah, those are the uses for the Jacob sheep. The reason that we got these sheep, however, is kind of none of the above. But as you can see, we have really, really tall grass. Our lawnmower kicked the bucket this year. So that was ultimately what made us decide that it was time to get some livestock, because they don't break as easily. And I don't know when we're going to get our ride-on mower back from the shop, because I guess the part that broke is taking forever to get here. But as you can see, the grass is in some places taller than my dog's. And that there is our other push mower. It's just been abandoned in the grass because it's way too long. So our sheep are going to be lawnmowers for us. But this is our pen, at least temporarily for them. We do have another few pens kind of over on the other side of these trees. There's smaller pens that aren't being used by the cows. But for now, we're going to have them here because they're close to the house. It'll be easy to feed and water them. There's lots of grass here, obviously. And they've got the shelter already built there. So that was actually originally the dog pen, this whole area. And then we cut a hole, you can see, for the building for the dogs to get in there out of the elements. We'll probably close it up when the sheep are in there, but we're hoping at some point the sheep and the dogs can kind of share it, but we'll see how it goes. We are also thinking we're just going to dip our fingers into this for now and just get 2 ewes that we haven't named yet, but I'm kind of thinking Eugenie and Queen Sheba. If you have better ideas, leave them in the comments. But yeah, we are also thinking that, like, if things go well with this, maybe we'll do some more with it. So come fall, we may look into either getting a ram or getting access to a ram and building the flock from there and kind of see what happens. So this is kind of where we're at. I have to haul a trough over from the other pens at some point today and fill it up with water because they can't drink out of buckets because their horns are too big. They get stuck in the buckets, which is kind of really funny to me. But yeah, so in the future, we'll hopefully have some more videos for you. Thanks for joining on this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and leave your comments down below. Love to hear from you. Thanks. This is how tall our grass is. I have to like not step in any holes too and break any ankles. Hey Kiba, where'd you go swimming? Good girl. Hey buddy. So these are the other pens I was talking about. And now I have to see if I can find one of the troughs in all this grass. That's kind of gross. Guess I'll have to clean that out first. These are so much lighter than I was expecting. I could probably carry this if I wasn't holding my phone.